very good evening to our viewers here in Sri Lanka and across the globe. This is Primetime News coming to you live from the Newsfirst studios in Colombo. I'm Mahina Bongso. Here's a look at your headlines for tonight.
Joint opposition protest march converges at Lake House roundabout. Breakdown in daily activities in Colombo. President insists on the death penalty for looters of public property. Why is the bond scam not being taken up before the Special High Court trial at Bar? JVP leader Kumara questions the Prime Minister. Asian basketball champions Malaysia beaten by Sri Lanka.
Moving on to the stories in detail now. The protest march organized by the joint opposition titled Janabalaya Kolumbita was held at the Lake House roundabout today.
The location of the joint opposition protest was not revealed until this afternoon. Until this afternoon, the traffic in the Colombo city was lighter than usual. There was a low turnout of students and office employees in the Colombo city, and many employees were seen leaving the Colombo city by this afternoon. Following a meeting held at 2 this afternoon, the joint opposition announced the location of the protest. Groups of protesters that arrived along the Gold Road, Colombo Town Hall, Maradana, Maligawata and other areas converged opposite the sacred bow tree in Peta and marched to the Lake House roundabout. Traffic congestions were reported along Dr. Vijayawardena in Kolpiti, along Gold Road and at Technical Junction this afternoon due to the protest. Special police protection was provided at the parliamentary premises, president's premises, temple trees and Alutkade court complex from this afternoon.
The city of Colombo has been surrounded completely. At a time when state-sponsored suppression is taking place, the people who do not fear suppression and intimidation have used their independent right to commence a peaceful Satyagraha campaign. These people have taken control of the roads, sending them a message to go home. The control of the capital is under the people now.
Leaders of the joint opposition said that people who have gathered at the Lake House roundabout will remain there throughout the night. Now let's take a look at some special footage captured by Newsfirst of the joint opposition protest in Colombo today. Now, as the joint opposition protest rally entered Colombo, people were affected today. Here's a look at what they had to say.
We are on the road every day. We waste the fuel. They progress with our vote and we go backwards. We are burdened. We do not care about protests. We want to live. The business was not good today because of this issue.
We have to pick the bottles on the road. They leave plastic, they leave bags. We have to clean all that. Our hands are wounded.
All the people who work want to go home after they work. When that is affected, that becomes a problem. Bus drivers are afraid that they might not be able to go back if they come. We had to walk from Gaul Road. A person who drives a three-wheeler is severely affected because there are no people on the road. There is no benefit for the people through any of this. They do this for their own benefit.
Newsfirst's Jayamal Ratnayaka has been covering the protest in Colombo today, and he filed this report a short while ago.
I am currently down Lotus Road in Colombo, where there is a severe congestion of people. The joint opposition organized a rally bringing down people from all over the country, and they converged in Colombo at 2 p.m. today and commenced the rally from Town Hall in Colombo. Several MPs of Parliament, including former President Maithripala, is currently addressing the people who are at this gathering.
Now, what is the reason behind organizing the Janabale Columbata protest rally? Speaking at a media briefing, Minister of Fisheries, Water Resources and Rural Economy Vijit Vijayamuni Soiza provided an explanation.
If I am to speak about the real reason behind holding this protest, now previously the people of this country voted for Mahinda Rajapaksa to become the Prime Minister, but he did not become the Prime Minister. Then a protest march was organized from Kandy and many others were organized after that. Rallies were organized at Nugegoda and RR Samarakon. While all of these were done, They said they will overturn the government. Next, they said that Mahinda Rajapaksa will be made Prime Minister. This protest is being organized with a clear intent. Where is Basil? We have to speak the truth. Basil is the mastermind, the organizer. Basil has the power on the ground. Basil was the one who rallied together the local government representatives and challenged the government by winning the local government elections. The game today is for Namal Baby to take the power of Basil and Gotabaya. At 2 this afternoon, the group of joint opposition leaders headed by Namal Rajapaksa, who met with former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, announced how the protest will be held. Last night, the leaders and parliamentarians of the joint opposition met under the leadership of Namal Rajapaksa with the participation of Mahinda Rajapaksa. Even during the media briefings that preceded the protest, senior leaders like Dinesh Gunawardena were sidelined by Namal Rajapaksa. This post was put up on Namal Rajapaksa's Twitter account. Namal Rajapaksa was also seen speaking to the media on a number of occasions during the protest today.
ජනබලය කොළඹට මහා දැවන්ත සෙනග දැන් කොළඹට ඇතුල් වෙනවා. කොළඹට ඇතුල් වෙලා තියෙන හැම පාරකින්ම ලක්ෂ සංඛ්‍යාත ජනතාවක් මේ වෙනකොට ඇතුල් වෙමින් පවතිනවා.
සාමාන්‍ය බල්ලෙක් සමාගේ ටෙරිටරි එක තමාගේ සීමාව පෙන්වන්න වටේ මූත්‍රා කරනවා නේද?
Usually dogs urinate to mark their territory, don't they? During the past, one of our bosses also did that. So today, Gotabaya is helpless. He carried out Viatgama and then Mahinda Rajapaksa himself said, "I'm running for president again." These people haven't even analyzed the constitution. We respect Mahinda Rajapaksa. It is true that he smiles wherever he is. It is true that he murders while smiling like that. It is true that he shoots you in the head while smiling. Just like he stole from the tsunami, he took money from China and gave the defense forces headquarters, the grounds and the hospital to China with cabinet approval. He sold it along with the Bandaranaike statue. I asked the slaves who come for this protest march, these people don't have a place now in Colombo, right? Please come to Galface. The Shangri-La Hotel is there where Mahinda Rajapaksa sold it to the Chinese. The statue of Bandaranaike crying is also there. It was sold along with the statue. That is what is unbearable. Bandaranaike is still crying at Galface. He's saying, "You sold me to China even after I was shot."
ආම ගෝල් ෆේස් එක ළඟ ඉඳගෙන අර මූද දිහා බලා ආඬනවා. ශ්‍රී ලංකාවෙන් වෙඩි කාපු මාව නේද තොපි වික්කේ චීනෙට කියලා.
රජයට තිබෙන ප්‍රධාන චෝදනාව තමයි Tamanට එරෙහිව නඩු පැවරීම.
The main accusation against the government is that they filed cases against them. They charge that this is revenge. This is what we see as the main objection of this protest staged by the Rajapaksas, and that is to save themselves from the judiciary and the law. That is why they brought down their followers to Colombo to protest. All of them should be in jail right now. We saw how the Special High Court and the FCID filed cases against him. There were indictments against Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Namal Rajapaksa. They took to the streets to get rid of the destruction they caused by wasting public funds. We urge the government not to be intimidated by this and make decisions and take legal action.
තීන්දුව ගන්න අධිකරණ ක්‍රියාමාර්ග.
Moving on to a story that is making the headlines tonight, President Maithripala Sirisena says that the death penalty should be imposed on those who misappropriate government funds and property. The President expressed these views at an event of the Committee on Public Accounts.
The event was held at the Parliamentary Complex. Speaker of Parliament and many state sector employees attended the event.
In a survey that was carried out in the year 2007 regarding the expenditure in the state sector, it was identified that 40% of the funds are wasted due to corruption. This survey was carried out by 3 senior officials in the public administration sector. We saw how 40% of the funds were wasted. Under this system, there will be no opportunity for that. When we speak about corruption, thievery and robbery, we see a lot of lapses in the law that exists. We see a delay in punishing the wrongdoers. When you take a look at international examples when it comes to tackling corruption, it is evident that the cases are not being dragged for years in other countries, especially in China and Singapore. They will finish the case in 2 to 3 weeks. They even impose the capital punishment. What is wrong with the death sentence? The death sentence is available in Sri Lanka. If you are convicted of murder, then the death sentence is imposed. If someone is convicted as a traitor, then the death sentence is imposed. But it is not enacted. Even though the law is mentioned in the book, the wrongdoers continue to carry out their corrupt activities. Honorable Prime Minister, Speaker of Parliament, on a day like today where such an important task is being carried out, I make a request. The death sentence should be imposed on those who carry out fraud and corruption. If it is done during my tenure, I would like to punish one or two people before I go off.
The interim report compiled by the Office of Missing Persons was handed over to President Maithripala at the Parliament today by its Chairman President's Council, Salia Pires. The information collected for over 6 months have been included in the interim report.
Welcome back to the news. The United National Party convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
As the UNP General Secretary, I'd like to ask them the main motive behind this protest. Let us explain to you why they brought people to Colombo. During the time the LTT was in effect, they took advantage of the people to fulfill their personal motives. I think the Podujana Peramuna is trying to do something similar. They are trying to use the general public for their own whims and fancies. The Special High Court will expedite the court proceedings. They are afraid of these court cases. That is why they brought people to Colombo. They might think they can influence the government or the judiciary in decision making by doing this, but that will not happen.
Commenting on the protest organized by the joint opposition, UNP Deputy Leader Minister Sajid Premadasa said people are being brought into Colombo in order to reintroduce corrupt politics in the country.
Can you topple a government simply by bringing people into Colombo? Can you change the president or the prime minister? There will come a time when the people can decide the next president. But today is not the day. It will come in the latter part of 2019. It's only then can we decide on the next president, prime minister and cabinet. State power cannot be transferred simply by bringing people down after promising to provide them with alcohol at a time where we were vested with power with the people instead of dictators and are trying to develop the nation. These people are trying to hinder this process and pin us down. Nevertheless, we will overcome all these challenges and keep moving forward.
The minister made these comments after laying the foundation stone to construct a bridge across the Walave River in the Suryavava area in Hambantota. The bridge is being constructed at an estimated cost of 28.5 million rupees.
The draft of the 20th Amendment to the Constitution, which contains the abolition of the executive powers of the President, was presented to Parliament by the JVP today. Chief Opposition Whip, JVP MP Anrukumara Disanayaka spoke about the law not being enacted against those involved in the bond scam.
What is the current status of the investigations into the bond scam? Will the Special High Court take up the case of the bond scam?
The Chief Justice will reach a decision regarding this after the Director General of the Bribery Commission provides the details to the Chief Justice. We do not interfere with the judiciary. We have done what had to be done as the government and as the Parliament. We have established the Special High Court. We will set up another High Court soon. I am speaking to the Chief Opposition Whip. Please be patient. The three institutions, the Chief Justice, the Attorney General and the High Court will enact justice. I am certain of it.
We've been patient for a long period. 3.5 years have lapsed. The role of the former governor of the central bank, Arjun Mahendran, was important. Now they have sacrificed perpetual trading and are hiding. Are you ready to provide instructions to the Attorney General to take this before the Special High Court? Are you ready to inform facts to the Chief Justice?
Investigations are being carried out by the Attorney General's Department. This can be taken forward after the Commission concludes. We will inform this once again, as you have suggested, to send it after finishing the investigation. The central bank has frozen 11 billion rupees of PTL. I think that is more than the loss.
The loss is not covered just because you freeze the money. The governor of the central bank was a close friend to you all. He was appointed with your personal recommendation. You stood on his behalf in Parliament. There were reports that you met him in Singapore. I would like to ask whether you don't have a personal responsibility to bring him back into the country.
The crime does not get cancelled just because we earn back the money. The crime happened at a different occasion. The law is being enacted against Arjuna Mahendran. If he is overseas, the relevant action has been taken. The lawyers appearing for that faction have also asked for details. I saw it in the newspaper, but I did not read it. I do not have any connection with him after he left the country. My lawyers had instructed me not to do so. It has been 7 months since the Bond Commission report was presented, but nobody knows what the next move of the Attorney General is. A case about the MPs who obtained money from the bond scam are underway in the magistrate courts, and the names are yet to be revealed. It was the Attorney General who questioned Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and Minister Malik Samaravikrama when they were summoned before the Commission. Is the Attorney General hoping to be the Chief Justice? Is that why he is very keen on treating the Prime Minister well? All details of the Bond Commission report are swept under the carpet. Media revealed about the bond scam for the first time. The people might think that the first bond scam was the end of it. But no. There was another bond scam that took place, and it was more disastrous than the first. But nothing has been done about it. We urge the President to appoint another commission to inquire into the second bond scam. We ask the Prime Minister not to procrastinate these things. We'd like to remind the Attorney General that he is the Attorney General of the people and not of the Prime Minister. You are not the Attorney General of the United National Party. Your responsibility is to represent the people and bring those who stole from the bond scam before the law. The Attorney General should bring these perpetrators before the Special High Court and punish them.
විශේෂ මාධිකරණයක් දැන් පීඨවල තියෙනවා මේ විශේෂ මාධිකරණයේදී දනුවම් දෙන්න වැඩ කටයුතු කරන්නයි කියන එක තමයි නීතිපතිතුමාට තියෙන්නේ.
Although much is being spoken of the construction of expressways and overhead bridges, people living in rural Sri Lanka are yet to see a glimpse of these developments. The Gum at the door-to-door team met several such people. Here are their stories.
Gum at the door-to-door initiative.
This journey across the Yoda that carries water to Maithripala from Min area is a dangerous one. However, this journey is undertaken by the people of this area on a daily basis. We witnessed many people, including children, travelling across this route. About 600 to 700 villagers travel across this route to reach the main road, and there have been a number of accidents in the past. This road, which is the shortest path to the town, was prepared by the villagers. According to the villagers, any alternate route would take over 1 hour to reach the town. Even victims of wild elephant attacks have to be taken along this dangerous path. The residents of the Pahala Wever told our team that the wever in the area that is polluted has not been cleaned. They added that it has become difficult to use this wever as a result of illegal land fillings taking place under political patronage. Many acres of farming lands have been destroyed owing to improper water management in the area. The lives of the people in Pilagura have been affected by the rock quarries in the area. They find it difficult to even simply stay in their homes as a result of this. The villagers point out that pieces of rocks fall on their houses as well as their farmlands. However, although the authorities have been notified of this situation, time and time again, no remedial steps have been taken. The villagers in Rothgam has said the education of their children have been severely affected. The main reason for this is the fact that the closest school in the area only provides education until the 5th grade. The parents face many issues in enrolling their children in a school afterwards. The people of Kotriadi village face a major threat from wild elephants. These people who make ends meet through their cultivation are facing many hardships as their crops are being damaged by wild elephants. The village also does not have a proper road network. The people in the Iruno Ramkudiatram village in Mungilaru spoke to the Gum at the team about their issues. One of the main issues faced by these people is the inability of the authorities to put a stop to the illegal distilling of alcohol in the area. The villagers charge that they face many problems due to this situation. They also do not have proper sanitary and transportation facilities and are facing an array of economic issues.
Those were the problems of the people highlighted to you by the Gum at the door-to-door team. Now yet another Gum at the project was launched in Nitambua in Gampaha that will eventually benefit many children and fulfill the aspirations of the people.
The foundation stone was laid for a drinking water project at the Nitambua Buddhist College in Gampaha. The lack of clean drinking water for this school with 1,200 students has been a serious concern over the years. The water tank that the school has is 40 years old and only has a capacity of 700 litres. Under the project launched today, a water tank standing on a tower with a capacity of 2,000 litres of water is to be constructed. The managing director of the Media Private Limited, Mohammed Ali, joined the occasion as a special invitee. News director at Newsfirst, Gayan Sampath, administrations director Kitsiri Dayananda, manager of English News, SFM Legends FM Zulfik Farzan, and project leader Mudit Veerakon took part at the event. The sponsors of this project are Mr. Tilak Sagadu, Mrs. Rukmal Gunatilaka, Mohan Gunasekara, Friends of Hope Association, and the Gammed Public Fund.
So the news channel will usually show you the problem, tell you about the problem and talk about the problem. But News First is different because it doesn't just talk about the problem, it goes one step further and it does something about the problem. And I think we have to congratulate them for that. News First is just not a channel that talks about the issue or show you the problem. It goes one step further to do something about it. And I think I congratulate News First for being a news channel of action.
Let's now take a look at the illustrated news by cartoonist Asanka Ladwahete. Well, that's a wrap from all of us here at the Newsfirst English News Desk. We leave you tonight with visuals from the joint opposition protest held in Colombo today. I'm Mahina Bongzo. Good night.